What's up, everyone? All right, so in this episode, I'm going to walk you through my trades from this morning. And this is actually a kind of good episode just to sort of highlight my goal for day trading this year. Because this is today was a perfect example of the type of stocks that I'm going to be focusing on and really what my goal is each day. All right, so first of all, one of the big challenges that a lot of beginner traders have is finding the right type of stocks to trade. So I have a system that I use and I follow that system every single day. Today I traded LIPO and you can see my P&L here, $3,114.40. Not bad. That was a good day for me. So LIPO was gapping up 86.5%. It ended up actually going up over 100% today. This is the type of stock that I'm going to focus on. This was the leading percentage gainer of any stock in the market. Now, this is a stock that is also a somewhat recent IPO. It IPO'd at, I believe, $5.75. It hit a high of $7.72. It then sold off. It pulled back a little bit. And then today, it was popping up. So as it popped up today, that gave us an opportunity to take some trades on it. And basically, one of the big challenges the beginner traders have is trying to find these opportunities in real time. You can find them after the fact. So like right now, you see Neon is hitting my scanners. So we could pull up Neon and in real time, you can see that this stock is moving up. It's just gone from 7 to 8 up to 9, 950. And I bet if we looked, we would see that there's some news that's driving this move. Typically, in order for a stock to go up this much, this quickly, and right now it's up 38, almost 39%, it has to, let's see, yeah, 38%. It has to be because there's some type of news. So I'm a trader that focuses on trading in the morning because usually in the morning is when we see stocks, when we see companies put out news and when stocks react to news that came out overnight. So I trade generally the first 2 hours of the day from anywhere from 8:30 to 9 until about 10 or 11 in the morning. Sometimes I'll trade a little longer if the market's hot. One of my goals is that when it is hot, I do push it a little harder. And when it's cold, I just ease off the throttle real quick and walk away. So today was a day where it was pretty hot pre-market on LIPO. All right, so LIPO by the way, that's a bird outside my window here. So LIPO starts squeezing up. It goes up to a high of about 550 right here. And then you could see in this area, it pulled back. And when the first 5-minute candle made a new high right here at this spot, which was over 535, that gave a nice breakout up to 587. It then, not quite 10%, but a decent move. And I traded that move right there. It then pulls back again. And you got one more breakout here. First 5-minute candle to make a new high was over 6. And it goes up to 673, which was a solid 10% move. So you had two nice entries. First 5-minute candle right there. Second 5-minute candle right here. This was the first pullback and this is the second. If we looked at the 1-minute chart, we may be able to see that there were some opportunities inside those 5-minute candles. Of course, a 1-minute time frame, all of this price action takes place inside 5-minute candles. So initially it spikes up here, it hits a high of 479, it pulls back, and right here was the first potential trade on this candle as it broke through the new high of day of 480. Goes up to a high of 543, which again is more than 10%. That could be a great trade. You could buy 1,000 shares of something like this for 480, putting in $4,800. And if you got 40 cents on it, 47 cents, you'd be up $470, and that would be a 10% return. $480, 48 cents. Pulls back right here. It tries to break through the $0.50 550. It can't do it. It drops down to a low of 441, and then it curls back up. And this right in here was an ABCD pattern. A pop-up, a pullback, pop back up, pull back. We then base the risk off the low of this candle and off the volume weighted average price, with the entry being the high here of 535. Now that happened to correspond with our first 5-minute candle to make a new high right here. So it was a 1-minute and a 5-minute setup at the same time, which is multi-time frame alignment. Squeezes up here to a high of 580, pulls back, pops up again to 590, pulls back, goes up to 606, pulls back, and then breaks a little bit higher. One of the things that I noticed about this one today was that it was trading in a bit of a channel right here. So let's mark this channel out. Right around here, we had a little bit of a channel. And so that was the top, and then this was sort of the bottom of the channel, maybe right around there. So it kind of pierces the top of the channel here, but then it drops back down. And here, when it broke out of the downside of that channel, I was like, that's not great. This one's probably done. And so the reason today that I didn't push it very far after the market opened was because at the open, this one ended up selling off. It didn't hold up and make new highs. It's pulled back. So when the leading gapper fails, usually that, for me, is an indicator to slow down and be a little bit more cautious. Now, sometimes there'll be another stock, like Neon right now, or another one, that starts to pop up and gets attention, and you end up getting momentum sort of shifting to a different stock. But that's not always the case, and it generally isn't the case. It's usually the case that when it's hot, we see sympathy momentum on other stocks, and when it's cold, everything else just gets choppy. So there were some nice trades on LIPO this morning. The cleanest trades were in the first part of this move, which was between 7:30 and 8. That was when it was lighting up the scanners, both the high day momentum scanner and showing up on the top of the gap scanner as the leading percentage gainer in the entire market. So it made sense to focus on this stock today. That's the only one I traded. That's where I got the most profit. And that's where I got my profit. Now, if I had traded longer into the day, I may have, may have seen Neon. It's now a little bit later in the afternoon, 1:30. I don't typically trade at this time of the day. I find it's a little choppier. But occasionally you do have news or a stock that pops up like this, and that can give a nice opportunity. Unfortunately, what is often the case is that the volume is a bit lighter. So LIPO right now has 23 million shares of volume on the day. Neon has 1/23 of that, only 1 million shares of volume. So the volume is quite a bit lighter on it. That means it's not going to have as great of liquidity. It'll be a little harder to buy, a little harder to sell. But even despite that liquidity problem, you can get some big moves. It's up 50% right now, 49%. So this is the strategy that I trade. I look for leading percentage gainers, and I try to ride that momentum. Usually they're up because they have some type of news. And this is what I'm going to be doing. It's what I've been doing for a long time. It's what I'm going to be doing for this year. So for those of you at the beginning of the year trying to think about, what's the strategy that I'm going to focus on this year, I would encourage you to look at the price action on leading percentage gainers, because that's where you usually see high relative volume. A lot of traders are interested, and there's often some great patterns. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this recap, and a reminder, as always, my results aren't typical, and there's no guarantee you'll find success whether you trade on your own or you learn from me. So take it slow, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning live streaming for all of those members over at Warrior Trading, and I'll do another recap tomorrow that I'll upload. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the morning.